Greetings gamers, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a really long time since any content, very obviously not sticking to the schedule which I set for myself, which is fine, I guess. But I was switching Google accounts, and I just happened to see that even though I hadn't uploaded anything for the past 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, I still gained like 10 subscribers, strangely. So I figured, hey, why not come back and just do a video, try and be timely for once, because unfortunately something which I think is bad is about to happen to the game, and it has to do with this tank. The IPM1 is unfortunately slated to go up to 10.3, which I think is a mistake. I'm recording this after Gaijin retracted their decision to move this fucking thing down to 10.3 along with this piece of shit. Thankfully both those tanks are staying at 10.7, but unfortunately the IP is still going up to 10.3, which puts it on the same BR as the M1A1, which I think is kind of weird because this thing has substantially better turret armor and M829, while this thing has neither of those. It's basically the same thing as this. I can't think of any discernible difference. I think it might have no, that's not true. That's patently false. The IPM1 has significantly more composites in the turret. The thing is, it just doesn't really matter when you're fighting against its contemporaries, particularly the Mango round from the Soviet vehicles. It's kind of ridiculous. The Soviets have 4 tech tree vehicles with Mango, and then plus a 5th with the Terms, which is extremely common. But ironically, it's those tanks, specifically the Terms, which has incurred the wrath of Gaijin and compelled them to move this thing up to 10.3. This lineup, this 10.0 lineup, absolutely fucking schmacks. As you can see here, I'm sorted by win rate because it's made it easier to find. I and a lot of other more experienced players. I think I'm like at 2,700 hours. I think I qualify as an experienced player. Experience does not equal skill. But experienced players like myself have been taking advantage of 2 things that happened really close together and have unfortunately spelled doom for this vehicle's current battle rating. The first is the fact that Gaijin was smart enough and beneficent enough to finally decompress, give us a smidgen of decompression, and opened up a BR 11.0. And there was a sale. Particularly after the summer sales, there was a huge influx of Terms players, as well as, not to mention, all the other top tier premiums, the Leo, the OF, the Type 74, the XM1, even though it's on the same team as the M1, the IPM1. And what this meant is a real meta has crystallized around 10.0, and it's really consistent to get a 10.0 match. I mean, obviously you'll still get your max up tiers, your partial up tiers, but it is quite consistent to get a 10.0 match. And as you could see by my stats earlier on this vehicle, you tend to do really well because you're in an Abrams and you're fighting shit like Leopards and Type 74s. That's the reason why this thing is going up a BR. But I still don't think it's very justified. I definitely think that this vehicle's stats are being artificially inflated because of particularly the Terms players. Like I said, it's pretty ridiculous that the Soviet lineup has 5 vehicles with Mango at this BR, which means that you're incredibly vulnerable. Let's not even talk about the regular M1 Abrams, which has pretty much 0 composites in the turret. This looks, this looks pretty promising, but if you just turn a little bit, it's because it's angled. If you turn a little bit, it's totally susceptible to Mango, and then of course this side is totally susceptible because it has less composites, not to mention the entirety of the hull. Regardless, it's not really the end of the world if this thing gets moved up. I mean, I don't think it belongs at 10.3, especially when you compare it to the M1A1, which I'm almost entirely sure that now that the IPM1 is going to 10.3, that means the M1A1 is going to go to 10.7, which I think is also unfounded. But it's not like America doesn't have options at 10.3. You obviously have the HSTVL, which is a fantastic vehicle, especially after the ammo rack changes or the ready rack changes. And then you have things like the M3A3 Bradley, which can function all the way up to 11.0, and the Striker, which once you go through the monumental slog of grinding all the way to M900, can also function all the way up to 11.0. Plus you have things like the Peten or the regular AH-64A and the Tiger 2. If you're a Pepe, you have both those options. But if you're not, you still have really good CAS options like the AV8A if you're also a Pepe, but also the A4E Early with its 5 bullpups, which is bonkers, or the A7D with its Mavericks. Those are both really good and really easily. Also the AV8 C, which also has, ballistic computers for its bombs. But all three of those are really good CAS options, and then you have a really strong tank lineup. So it's not really the end of the world for this thing going up to 10.3, but it's a real nice experience for it being at 10.0. So we're going to take it out for a spin before Gaijin ruins the fun. Just a word on the tank itself. It is obviously really good. It's got good survivability because the crew is nicely spaced out. It's a very large vehicle. It's got decent armor. I mean, Mango will still penetrate a lot of the places. Part of the survivability comes from the excellent ammo stowage. I absolutely love tanks that have really good ammo stowage. It's one of my favorite things. This one has probably the best out of any tank in the game because not only is it pretty much all stowed in one place except for this really random ready rack here, which I never fill, but it's also in a blowout panel. So you can also this, but I also don't fill this. So because this fills first. So you fill this entire ready rack with pretty much as much ammo as you want to take, and then you're safe, more or less, unless you get max up tiered and then your turret face is totally penetrable and they can just go straight through and pierce the bulkhead. But that's besides the point. The tank is also incredibly responsive. It has a 1500 horsepower engine and it's pretty heavy, but at 55 tons, it's not as heavy as later Abrams variants, and you have an excellent power to weight ratio. Plus, people hate the sound of the turbine engine, but I love it. People think it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. I only partially agree. I still love the sound of the turbine. And even though I still am missing the transmission, this thing is still incredibly responsive. Hopefully over the course of recording this, I'll get the laser rangefinder and then we'll be good to go. Not to mention this thing has incredible gun handling characteristics. Even without horizontal drive, it's still 32 degrees a second on the turret traverse, and then a really nice 23 degrees a second for vertical guidance. And then it also has, of course, the American gold standard of -10 degrees to gun depression. And with an expert crew, 5.3 second reload on the L7, or whatever they call it. It's an L7, the L7 105. So you have a really good fire output, really good survivability, decent armor, excellent mobility, and you even get thermals to top it all off. So yeah, I don't think this tank belongs at 10.3. I definitely know why they're doing it and I can see why, but I think this tank is definitely another case of America suffering from success. I don't really know what the solution is. I don't think there even is really a problem. Like, so what? People spend money to buy into out of their own depth, so to speak, and then they get stomped by players who are more experienced. Like, that's, I don't know, like every YouTube guide you can find says do not spend money to buy into top tier because it's a miserable experience and you just get stomped, and then people do it anyway, and then Gaijin nerfs poor bystanders like the IPM1. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about it. Forgive my stereotype, but like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, all that dumb shit. Let's get into the battle. I've talked long enough. Okay. 10.3. So this is kind of gonna be like a simulation of what the reality will be for this tank in the coming weeks. If I had the laser rangefinder, it might be worth it to sit up here for a little bit, take some pot shots at the enemy here. I'm really glad we have the Germans. I prefer to have them on my team because then that means I'm just basically fighting terms. The Italians and French don't really have anything at 10.3 that I'm afraid of. I mean, the Ariete, the CL round on the Ariete will cleave straight through you, but the Ariete itself is kind of a pushover. So, I'm not really afraid. I don't think I want to cross yet. The red convoy is going in. Yeah. Not a good idea to cross. Terms. Back it up there. I like to rush over to the B point, but I feel like it's easier to do that. It's almost easier to do that when you spawn on the other side, even though the other side kind of sucks. Somebody on their team made it to the B point. I saw him rushing over. It's easy to stay up here. That's an easy mistake to make. I can't even see those guys. What the hell? I know the distance is like 2,300 meters. I can't see shit. Yeah, 2,300. Let's try this one. There we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's try that. Didn't get a hit cam on that one. Out. There goes the breach. Damn, he's still alive? Did he die? No, he's still alive. What a hideous red Kampfwagen. Is that him? No. Let's try it. Too low. Just a little bit over. I'm trying to get that. Yep, there we go. Okay. So we're gonna go see if we can take C. We're definitely winning, but we haven't really struck a decisive blow. I think I can hear something up ahead. Oh, we got one. That was a bad shot. I don't even know if I can... There he is. Oh, we got some lag. He doesn't know where we are. He could easily spot me though, with his really excellent thermals. I'm gonna relocate. My thermals are too hazy to get a good picture of his weak spots. And that's one of the advantages of this tank. It's so responsive, maneuverable, and just fast. You can just sort of be like, you know what, I don't want to fight here anymore. One disadvantage that we have is we're really loud. We're really distinct. The sound we make is really distinct, and he has better thermals. So there's a real chance that he'll spot us before we spot him, but like, what are the chances that he's got his brain on? I think that might have been him who just got killed by the G91 though. Yep, that's the one. Did he get killed? No, I can't see him. What do we got? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, his gun's out at least. Yeah, see, that's one of like... I don't know if he was damaged, if he was immobilized or something, but that's one of the really nice things about the IP. You're just like, yep, I'm out of here. Come from an unseen angle. Too low. Not good with this shell. Man, that could have been a kill. Game's gonna end too fast. Alright, got a night map. Who are we fighting? Pretty much... I don't like the Germans being on the other team. But there's so many other countries that the chances of fighting a Leopard 2 are kind of slim, which is really the tank that I don't want to see from the Germans. It's like T-80Bs, T-72 1989s, Leopard 2A4s, those are your like real competition, because the M833 round will go through at terms, which is something I didn't know. I think maybe it might have changed, I don't know. I'll give myself the ultimate responsibility and just say that I was incorrect, because I was under the impression that the terms basically had good enough armor to resist the IPM-1. Definitely the M1. I don't know if the M1 gets M833, I don't think it does. But yeah, your round will go through at terms, but the T-80B and the T-72 1983 mod, the 10.0 T-72, those will resist it. And then of course the 2A4 has a really nice turret, and a really good gun, and really good gun handling, and really good mobility, on par with yours. I'm going to be aggressive here and push up into these ruins. Need to get behind the harder buildings. Radiator, that's a Leopard 2K. Did not do anything to him, really. There we go. There we go. Good job on the XM1 being aggressive, pushing on the point, denying the cap. Don't even know. Something just tried to shoot me from over there. I can see it moving in the darkness. Transmission driver. Ow! Oh, what the fuck? I don't even know. I can't even put this out. Something behind me? Do I need to put this out? I'm not even sure. Or does it just go out on its own? It's not hurting my crew or anything. I'm just sort of... I'm burning.
I'm burning!
And I still have all my ammo. What? Did Gaijin mess up? Gaijin never messes up. Killed him. Nice. What's over here? I need to get my Sabo back in. Did I lose, like... Was I accidentally carrying ammo in the commander's blowout panel or something? What is going on here?
The Allied forces have captured a zone.
They got him. Okay. A Dardo. That would have been really... upsetting. Oh, this... Okay. Do I want to try this guy? Tried. I don't... They're gonna get the point. Got an XM1 with us. I don't want to push up. I really don't want to abandon this position. Another one. Oh. What is that? Are you gonna try me again? T-72%. If I can get this XM1 to do something about that guy. Either of these XM1s are... XM1! Right here! Look at him, dude! Yeah, there you go. Good. Good shit, dude. Okay, I think I'll move up now. There's no way he hasn't taken out that T-72's, like, gun, right? Type 16. Oh my god, he saved me, dude. How? I can't see what that was. I don't even know if... I think that might have just been a collat. Whatever did that might not even know I'm here. Ooh, nice. Thank you. Ow, fuck me. I can't even... Eat a dick. Eat a dick. Commander's Override is really... I don't like the way it's implemented right now, because that required 0 skill input on my part. Like, he just automatically took over as when my gunner died, like, assuming direct control. But saved me there. And that's what I was talking about with the reliable, kind of good, just good, you know, like decent, this is what I would say, decent armor on the Abrams and the crew survivability, because I was penned there. Oh, yep. I was penned there, but it only took out my gunner. That guy was bad. Jesus Christ, just go down. Yeah, it looks like that's it for him. Slowly going down. 10.7. Okay. That's another thing that's going up to 10.3. That one, I don't know. I don't know if that deserves it either. It has it's like the opposite of the IP. It's like kind of slow and has, I don't know, maybe the armor is on par with the IP, but it has a way better gun. I'm just, in general, I'm just not a fan of Gaijin breaking up the 10.0 Freedom lineup. Oh, look at him go. What's his name? Jaeger Scout. Let's see if he stays in the game for longer than whatever it takes to do what the fuck he's doing. Hide the gunner's side. Look at him go! Oh my god! Oh, they are mad. There he goes, dead. Commander gunner engine. Can I get a driver? Oh, whatever that is gonna shoot me. Luckily, this geometry actually isn't penetrable. Oh, I got somebody out of that, wow. Oof. This guy's coming. Oh my god, where do you shoot at? Oh my rusty girder. Got the other one that I shot at. Don't even know where he went to. Can see them mobilizing from out of their spawn. Alright, so they definitely know we're here. Oh. He's getting hit. Fucking see anything. Driver. Oh my god, he's gonna fucking shoot us. Chi knew. No! That was Jaeger Scout. At least he stayed in the game. Champ. This guy doesn't. He had no idea. Yeah, the M833 doesn't like to go through the driver's hatch weak point and like hit somebody else or hit the ammo. A lot of times it'll get caught up in the turret ring, and sometimes that's enough, but not always. Sometimes it'll just get the driver, and then it'll say fuck you, and nothing else will happen, and then the T-72 or whatever is free to shoot back and kill you. What an obnoxious Abrams. Oh, what do we got? Class 3P. Those things you should take more than one shot. Oh, he sees me! Oh! Can someone please finish him? Is anybody... Oh, server not responding. Lovely. Oh my god. I'm gonna like burn out or something. I'm pressing the... I don't know if you can hear it. I'm pressing the fire extinguisher repeatedly. It's gonna kick me out. It's gonna kick me out and it's gonna give me crew lock. Watch. Mm-hmm. See if we get anybody coming this way. Just hold here for a minute. There it is. I think there's somebody down this street who's already hurt, it seems. That was a bit of a KS, but we take those. Also, I hate those things. So, there's no such thing as overkill. Somebody's here. I can't tell what I'm looking at. Is there more than one? I don't think there is. Back it up a bit. They still got gamers. Is that a Whirlwind? Why do I think everything is a Whirlwind?
Thank you very much. Negative. Thank you very much.
It is a Whirlwind. I was right this time. I think that's a legit kill. He was gonna fuck up that striker. Another Chinese tank. His camo is still on. This guy's asking us to flip him over. It's only fair, right? So he can actually give us a proper fight. Did he come back in another Whirlwind? I'll have to watch that footage again. And a fucking ASU? God. You know, like, one spawn, one pump chumps is a bad thing, but I think the only thing worse than that is trying to do a low tier joke and get like a god mode medal or whatever and just feeding the enemy spawn points and kills. Like, what is this guy gonna do? Ouch! That was a yak? I didn't even get us. Like, look at this, it's just carnage. Holy shit. This is one of the worst spawn camps I've seen for a really long time. I just got hit? Is that a BT5 that hit me? Yep. How is this guy matching at 9.7 but doesn't have FPE for his BT5? Unless he's just not gotten a kill with it? I don't know if that's a thing. Alright, we got ourselves another one. Let's see if we can manage the same strategy. So there's definitely something... Can't even tell. What's that? 2K. Oh my god. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's bedlam. Absolute chaos. But looks like my guys are paying attention. They're on the ball. Ow? I think that was artillery. I'm just gonna hope that was artillery. And just go on my merry way. Yep, he's just camping there. See, like, they're already not even 5 minutes in, and the game's already over. This is what most of the games are like. Like, you'll obviously see the cherry-picked ones where, like, where I do well and, you know, get kills or whatever. But most of the games, it's like a little less than half of the games are like this. You just do okay, and then the enemy team falls apart. A little less of the other half are games where you just do bad, you know, and whatever that means. Either you just get absolutely shit on, or you do multiple spawns and do just, you know, subpar in all of them, maybe 1 or 2 kills per spawn. That's most of the experience at this BR. And it has a lot, it comes down a lot to, you know, just the endurance that teams have. Like, look at all these one-quit leavers, you know what I mean? And most of our guys didn't die, but we have lots of guys who died once and they came back into the fight. And it really just depends on the luck of the draw, who you get for your team. I mean, obviously in a multiplayer game, who you're playing with, the skill of your teammates matters, but it just matters in a whole new way. I mean, this is War Thunder's version of inting. Like, inting like in League or Overwatch or whatever, this is War Thunder's version of inting. And it's over. Not even 5 minutes into the match, it's over. And arguably it was over way before 5 minutes. Okay, so that's going to call it for the IPM1 video. I played quite a few matches to do this video. As you can see, the IPM1's not spaded. I was missing like maybe 5 or 6 modules at 15k a piece on average, and I managed to get through it. I played, like I said, quite a few games. It's really funny because the first 2 games I played were really good. The first one on Eastern Europe and the second one on Kursk. I really liked those games, but then I just could not get a third really good game to top it off. Like the ones that I got high kills at, they didn't feel satisfying. Like it was like, you know, like the game on Alaska, or like two of my kills were a Warblewind and an ASU, and it was just spawn camping. And that's because, as is the case with a lot of vehicles, either A, you do poorly, which is, you know, that just happens, you know, sometimes we shit the bed, or B, which is often the case at this tier and this vehicle suffers from, is the enemy team will just sort of fall apart. You know, they're just too many of the people are one spawners. They only have like one vehicle in their lineup, or people just get fed up. I don't know what it is about top tier in particular that makes people get so fed up. I guess I don't know. I really can't place it on one factor, but you know, people just like to quit at top tier a lot, so the games fall apart. And it's like, you know, I spawn in the IPM1 and I get 2 kills and then the game's over basically, and it's like, okay, well, I can't put that in the video. That's not very interesting or fun. I actually had to record this outro because in between when I started recording and now, Gaijin announced that they are going to be giving this thing the M900 round, which is good. Don't get me wrong, I think that is good, but it's kind of strange in my opinion. It seems contrary to what they're trying to achieve by putting it up at 10.3. So by putting it up at 10.3, it no longer will fight people running this lineup, like the German 9.0 lineup or the French 9.0 lineup or the Italian. I don't think they really have a 9.0 lineup, but they have the 9.0 premium. Now they shut that. Oh, and so yeah, they do have it. They do have a fairly decent 9.0 lineup. Plus, you could throw that in there for 9.0. And then France has basically just the super. I'm pretty sure. Nothing. Yeah, it's like the super and one of the Brennises, right? I could have sworn there was an 8.7. Oh, they moved it down to 8.3. Oh, good for them. But the point is, moving the IPM1 up to 10.3 means it will no longer clown on 9.0 lineups. But it still obviously is going to fight 9.3s, and it'll still fight the main culprit, I believe, for why this thing is being moved up, which is the terms. This thing is probably the reason why probably one of the main reasons why the win rates have been so inflated, because so many people buy the terms and they don't know what they're doing and they get killed. And the IPM1, the M833 round on the IPM1, it can already frontally penetrate the upper front plate of a terms. But, you know, there are some funny moments that happen. I mean, it's all green for pretty much the most part, but sometimes you'll get like a really stupid moment where it'll get eaten by the fuel tank or whatever, and you won't kill it, or it'll get eaten by the track or whatever, and of course it still has a decently protected turret. But any sort of like ambiguity that the M833 round has, M900 just completely invalidates the armor totally. The fuel tanks will not stop that, the track will not stop that, M900 will just cleave straight through. So it's like they're moving it up to get it away from things that are at a lower BR, but they're not moving it up, but they're not getting it away from them, and then they're just making it easier for the IPM1 to kill those things. I don't, if that makes sense, right? But at the same time, it might not end up mattering. Playing this tank to get footage for this video, like half the games that I played were at 10.3, which is the BR it's going to, which sounds like a good thing. The other, maybe less than half, like I'd say like maybe 40-35% were at 10.0, this thing's actual BR, which is amazing. A little, like a handful were full up tiers, and then a little less than that, like maybe 2, 3, 4 games in total were 10.7 games. That was a lot rarer because not many nations have full 10.7 lineups. However, there were 3 games where I accidentally brought this lineup. I was just looking at something, like I was looking at the Tiger 2 or whatever. I was doing some dumb shit. It might have been because I managed to unlock the M1A1 while I was getting the research for this video, and I accidentally matched with this lineup 3 times. You know, you just you know, my brain is just off. Like, I matched with this lineup and then I kept forgetting to change it, so I matched 3 times in a row with this lineup because I'm stupid. But all 3 of them were max up tiers. And that's what I meant when I said it sounds like half of the games being at 10.3 is a good thing, because hey, if you're already getting 10.3 games and this thing is going up to 10.3, it's like no problem. You're basically just getting the M900 round for free. It's a free buff. That's not actually what happens. The infuriating way, the mind-bogglingly infuriating way that Gaijin's matchmaker works, you know, we've all experienced this at some BR. When you're matching at a BR, you get up tiered, and then when you get to the tier that you keep getting up tiered to, you continue to get up tiered. And I don't know why that is. It's just the way that qualitative matchmaking works. When you're at 10.0, you frequently get 10.3, but when you're at 10.3, I predict that it'll mostly be 11.0 games, which is sucks, I guess. I don't know. I still think that, as much as I truly believe in my heart of hearts that this thing could stay at 10.0 with M900, and to be honest, something like the Leo 2A4 should also stay at 10.0 and get DM33. I think it's ridiculous that the Russians basically get all the lol pen rounds and all the other NATO tanks don't. As much as I believe that, I really don't think it needs to go up, and I don't think it needs M900. I would have much preferred it to stay at 10.0 and just retain the M833 round. I thought it was fine. But whatever. Gaijin thinks they know best. Who am I to gainsay the snail? Anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you want me to play anything, give me a comment, and I'll see what I can do about it. Till next time. Peace.